G'day guys, what's going on? Hey, Trent here from Trent Baynes PT, proudly supported by Bulk Nutrients and JPS, Health and Fitness. Don't know why I didn't put that bit in at the end, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, so we are here today with a glute program, all right? Glutes for the goots, right? Don't know what goots means, but that's I'm going to show you a whole series of movements for a big badonkadonk, okay? Because that's what we want. We want a big badonkadonk, right? A famous rapper once said, "My anaconda don't, my anaconda don't, my anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun." Yeah, so, you know, everybody wants a big butt. Anyway, let's go through it. We're going to go through a pre-activation exercise to start. A normal hip thrust, okay, so that's going to be with a barbell. We're going to do a single leg glute raise, a walking lunge, and then a Romanian deadlift, okay? So, yeah, and then I'm going to take you through, at the very end, I'm going to take you through proper programming on how to actually program this for yourself or for clients or whoever, and, you know, to get the most out of your butt, pretty much, okay? So, you know, let's do it. G'day guys, let's go into our pre-activation exercise to start and create that sort of mind-muscle connection before we actually get into our glute raises, okay? So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to get a band and you're going to wrap it around a rack of some sort. I use these J-hooks. It works quite well for me here. And then what you want to do, step forward and put the bar just on your pelvic bone there, right? So that's going to be nice and stable there, right? It's going to be a lot easier if you don't have a phone and a microphone attached, right? But what you want to do is you want to hold on to the end of the rack, right? Tilt your bum back nice and far. Sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. They're having a good old time, right? Tilt your bum back nice and far. You should feel a really big stretch in those hamstrings. And from here, you're going to push your hips forward nice and hard and really squeeze your glutes as hard as you can, right? And then we slowly tilt back, push, squeeze, and really focus on getting that connection started with the glutes before we go into our actual big movements, right? At this point, you're nice and primed and ready to go, and we're going to be able to efficiently work through those glute raises and single leg glute raises quite well, okay? So I'm going to show you, ooh, that's getting a burn in my butt cheeks. I'm going to show you how to do a glute raise with a barbell. Let's do it. All right, guys, so now we've got the barbell glute raise or barbell hip thrust, okay? So setting up for this one, you can use a pad just on the bar itself to help with any sort of pains that you can get across your hips. But if not, and you are just going to rough it, then just rough it, basically. So what we're going to do is get that bar, sit it on your hips. I'm going to just put my lower of my shoulder blades on the edge of the bench here. And what I want to do now is hold that position up nice and tall. Push through with the hips and really squeeze your bum cheeks as hard as you can. Come down. And try not to let your knees come backwards, right? We want to keep those shins and those knees nice and straight, right? From here, push, squeeze your butt, back down. Sorry if that keeps hitting me in the chin, right? Up, squeeze your butt, back down here. Focus on just pushing through, squeezing your bum cheeks as hard as you can at the top, and really activating those glutes as hard as you possibly can. All right, guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go into a single leg glute raise, okay? So I'm going to show you both angles of this one just so that you understand how it works, okay? But this one is really great, especially after a standard hip thrust, to really burn that glute out, okay? So what we're going to do, same positioning as before, shoulder blades are just slightly, bottom of the shoulder blades are on the end of the bench. Right, from here, we want to try and make sure that we keep that leg at 90 degrees like we did last time. lift this one up in the air, drop down a smidge, push up, squeeze your glute as hard as you can. You're probably going to get more activation out of this one without the weight. You can put like a 3 kilo dumbbell or however heavy dumbbell on your hips here to get a little bit more overload. But you're going to find that you're not going to need obviously as much weight to really activate that glute and overload it, right? So pushing through your hips, big squeeze at the top, keep that leg up, keep it where it's comfortable. We just want to try and keep it out of the way, essentially. Okay, so this next one is a goodie. I've been implementing a lot of that, this next one, the walking lunges with my clients, and I've even got some of the guys coming back and complaining that their glutes are sore. So we're gonna get into it. Let's do it. So we have a walking lunge, okay? So hopefully you guys can hear me well. Obviously I've got the lapel microphone on, so you should be able to hear me quite well. Keeping our chest up and our shoulder blades back. What we really want to focus on is taking a nice big step and keeping that front shin nice and straight like we did with the glute raise, okay? So nice big step first, all right? Chest is up, shoulders are back, big step, nice and controlled. Staying up on that big toe, up on that toe on the back, and really focusing on keeping that leg nice and straight, right? That front shin, sorry, nice and straight. That's going to get the most activation out of your glute, right? There. So even if you have to take nice big steps, right? So what we're doing is as we're just getting to the, can't really see where I am, but it's all G's. Nice big step, right? Taking big steps in our walking lunge and going forward, right? Keeping this shin nice and straight the whole time, keeping that chest up and really trying to get as much activation through that glute as we can. So as you push, you're going to get all that glute activation and all that glute doing the work throughout that movement. Let's go on to the last one and then we'll do some programming. Okay, so now we're going to go into a Romanian deadlift or an RDL. Okay, so basically this one is a hip hinge like we've been doing the whole time. We've been pushing that bum back, right, and really focusing on getting a stretch in the hamstrings and the glute. This is the same sort of thing, right? So what you want to do, pick up that bar, chest is up, shoulders are back, and from here, keeping that neutral position, we want to slide the bar down the legs, just so we get a really big stretch in those hamstrings. See, on those heels, lift up the toes. Should feel a big stretch in the glute too. Up, squeeze through, really push through. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Back, up, squeeze. Squeeze, pull those shoulder blades back, nice and tight, lower back, up, push through, squeeze your glutes as hard as you possibly can. All right, guys, so that is all the technique movements that we need to know for this one. Let's get into some programming. All right, guys, so let's get into the programming part of this glute program workout. Okay, so basically you want to, if your main goal is to make sure that your glutes are as big and as thick and as juicy as possible, you want to try and incorporate this, 2 to 3 times a week. So the more volume that we're getting in, and obviously you want to be recovering at the same time. If you're not recovering by the next time you're going to train glutes, then you need to rethink your programming. Maybe you only need to hit it twice in a week instead of 3 times. Okay, so 2 to 3 times a week, let's write that up. 2 to 3 times per week if your main goal is to get thick, juicy glutes, okay? So what I want you to think about is you need to pre-activate before you get into the movement to make sure that those glutes are nice and fired up before you start moving, okay? What we want to do then is we're going to do about 8 to 10 reps of the hip thrust at 3 sets with an increase in RIR over time. So what that means is that I want you to make sure that it is harder and harder and harder every single week. Start at a reps in reserve at about 3 to 4, and then we're going to push it to like 0 to 1, right? Making sure that we're going to failure in this movement. So you can not you can't really do failure with the setup that I had here. But you know, if you've got a glute machine at the gym, then you can definitely take that to failure and really, really push it as hard as you possibly can. You know, 0 to 1 left in the tank, really. Single leg glute raise, we're going to do about 12 to 15 reps of that per leg, 3 sets with a slow increase in RAR as well. So maybe start at around 2 to 3. So, you know, it's quite a hard couple of sets to get started over like a 6-week program. And then by the end of that, you should be hitting like 0s and 1s. So really, really burn out that glute and really, really build some quality muscle on it, basically. From there, going into a walking lunge, same deal, 12 to 15 per leg, 3 sets, increase in RAR over time. And an RDL, right, Romanian deadlift, 8 to 12 reps, 2 sets at the end with an increase in RAR at the time. So we're going to get a really big stretch at the very end of the workout. And then obviously fill in the rest of your workout with things like shoulders and back and all that sort of stuff that you want to target as well. So hopefully, guys, that's helped you, helped you build, or for yourself, build a quality program for yourself so that you can, you know, grow your glutes and have something really, really proud to show off. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That really, really helps me. It actually motivates me to produce more sort of stuff like this for you guys. Yeah, and it'll keep me motivated if I get a like. So, you know, like, comment, and share. You know, share it with your Facebook friends and your grandma and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure that Nana would love to watch it while she's on the toilet doing her daily poo. Okay, maybe she's having a scone while she's on there. You don't know. But you know, let's stop talking about your grandma. If you like it, that'd be great. we'll sign off from there because it's starting to get a little bit weird. All right, this is Trent signing off. Trent Baynes PT, proudly supported by Bulk Nutrients, JPS Health and Fitness. Let's go. Oh.